What's up, people? It's Snitch Girl 3 here, and I was gonna actually do a really epic rant on a few things that have really bothered me about tonight's pay-per-view, the Night of Champions. This is my review of the Night of Champions 2012. Okay, maybe it's the itis after what I just ate, or it was just the fact that good grief. Um, okay, the one thing I am going to say is that for the preview, there was a lot of things I didn't really agree with. Number one, there was no A-Rye or Wade Barrett tonight. Even though it would be a downgrade for Wade Barrett to actually be a U.S. Championship holder, it would have been nice to actually see him out there after all that hype they had for his return. And then after that, they gave us mediocre hype for every SmackDown that came on. It would have been nice for him to be on this pay per view after his return. And also, where's A Ryan? Like, honestly, why didn't you put A Ryan in the U.S. Championship match? Seriously. I mean, yeah, that was a huge disagreement that I had with that. I really wanted to see A Ryan and Wade Barrett tonight. It was nice to see Ted DiBiase. There's one thing I can say. It was great to see Ted DiBiase, but come on, guys. You can at least put them in there. But the one thing I can say is that they really did have a great idea of putting JBL out there on commentary in place of Jerry King Lawler. So it was awesome to see him out there. He is awesome as a commentator. He will always be awesome as a commentator, and it was great to see him out there. Okay, I'm not gonna really go through all the matches verbatim, and because honestly, some of the matches absolutely drained me. But the one thing I can say is when it came to the Fatal 4-Way for the IC Championship match, good grief, the match was completely out of sync. The choreography was all off. Nobody had any. Nobody had any kind of chemistry in the ring. There was no chemistry at all in the ring. They finally kind of brought it together at the very end, but they were out of sync throughout the entire time, and it kind of took me completely out of the match. But overall, they really did do a good job wrestling, and I know they gave us a little bit of a snippet on how it will be for Sin Cara as Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio for when they actually have that match at WrestleMania. But they were completely out of sync. I don't know. Sin Cara just cannot connect with people. That's his biggest problem. He is a great in-ring performer, but his in-ring chemistry is way off. And I am not sure whether or not it is a language barrier because I really don't think that's the case. I think it's just because he's not used to. I guess maybe it's different in the world of lucha. Maybe it is different when it comes to in-ring chemistry, but he wasn't even. He didn't have any chemistry with Sin Cara. With Rey Mysterio at all. He only had maybe a few times, but their communication was way off throughout the entire match. So I'm curious to see how this will turn out if it does go to WrestleMania. But well, since the Miz retained his title, overall it was not all that bad. But hopefully it's gonna actually start a feud between him and Cody Rhodes, which is something I am looking forward to seeing. All right, moving on from there, I have to say that Zack Ryder, with him being chosen from the battle royal, I was highly impressed with Zack Ryder. I really was. It shows that from the months that went on, Zack Ryder really has improved a lot as a wrestler. I've actually seen that not only does this guy has a lot more energy in the ring, this guy he's well groomed when it comes to his moves now. He is a lot more fluid when it comes to his moves, and he's really, really hungry for getting his belt back. And I really think that he did a good job in this match tonight. And honestly, even if he lost, I don't think it made him look bad. I think he did kind of give Cesaro a little bit of a run for his money. He really has improved a lot in my eyes, and honestly, I'm hoping that they do start a feud with him. And going back to the pre-show, I'm actually surprised I didn't really see Sandow, unless I really missed it. If anybody saw Sandow or if they saw A Ryan in the ring, leave your comments in the comment section below because I don't think I saw A Ryan or Sandow tonight. But moving on from there, um, the Divas match. Oh my gosh. Can I completely say how completely predictable this entire thing was? I knew Eve would not leave this thing like lying down, but with Booker T's infinite wisdom, decided to put his assistant in the match to replace Caitlyn when he could have chose anybody to be in the match against Layla. But he chose Eve. Not only that, Eve won. I'm sorry. I really am not trying to think this way, but there has to be something she did behind the scenes to get her back in the title picture, let alone for her to be champion, since she hasn't been in the ring that often. Sure, I agree that she should have been GM of SmackDown instead of Booker T. But for real, she does not need to be champion. Seriously, she did not earn the right to be champion. And I'm gonna say it right now. She did something behind the scenes to get her at that point. And I'm trying not to be negative about it, but I'm keeping it real. Sorry about that. But moving on from there. Okay. The tag team match, the tag team titles. Did I really care? Not really, because it was something I pretty much it was something that I kind of predicted because I've seen this before. Now I stand corrected when it came to my review because I said Orton and Cena. I was actually corrected by the Black Rose 1991. Thank you for correcting me. It was actually John Cena and The Miz who were tag team holders at one time. But either or, it's been done before. Seeing how these guys can't really get along, their chemistry is still way off when it comes to them being tag team champions. I highly doubt they're going to keep the belts for long, but it was an interesting match to see. I was somewhat impressed. But I knew they were going to lose the match tonight, and I really didn't, I really wasn't all that interested in it. But, it was interesting nonetheless to actually see Kane and Daniel Bryan win the belts. Moving on from there. The standalone match, the only standalone match, Randy Orton versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, I've actually tweeted about this, but for real, Randy Orton kind of lost his cool tonight. The fact that he literally cursed out the camera guy and then later on apologized on Twitter about his outburst. Come on, dude. He is not a face. He is a heel. And he had heel throughout the entire night. He was getting heel heat the entire night, and he's supposed to be the face. And Dolph Ziggler ended up being the face of the ring, face of the match. And Randy Orton ended up being the heel of the match. It kind of went reversed. In the end, we all knew that Randy was going to win. Do you really think he's going to put anybody over? No. We just predict that was going to happen. But as usual, for some reason, Vicky Guerrero was a really loud bump on the log. She really didn't do anything to distract anybody the entire night, and I don't know why. There must be something that's holding her back. There must be something they're telling her that she's supposed to not do. I don't know. I can't figure it out. But she did nothing that night to actually kind of help Dolph Ziggler win. I don't know. I don't know what her purpose is. But all in all, it was a good match. I have to say, it really was a good match. I enjoyed that match. When it comes to Dolph Ziggler shows that he is definitely has what it takes to be a main eventer. That was a good match, and I really did enjoy it. But moving on from that standalone match to the championship matches of the night. Now, let's move into the World Heavyweight Championship match. Booker T, in all of his infinite wisdom, went through all the evidence, went through all the x-ray pictures, went through all the complaints, only to reinstate the Brogue Kick. Like I said, we've seen this crap before. Oh my gosh. We saw it with Shawn Michaels when the Sweet Chin music was banned. We saw it with The Undertaker when the Hell's Gate was banned. And The Undertaker scared the crap out of Vicky Guerrero so bad she reinstated it anyway. Can we say choke under pressure? Yes, we can say that. When it comes to the WWE Universe putting a lot of heat on the GM cracks every single time. And for some reason, I believe it's the case here. Because it was stupid. They pretty much force-fed that stupid lawsuit thing down our throats for nearly 2 weeks just to have it reinstated again at the pay-per-view. Why? If that was something you were gonna do anyway, why on earth would you even freaking bother torturing us with that ridiculous crap? Come on now. But either or, the match was always good because we know that Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio can put on a really great match. We know this, so that's why I'm honestly, it wasn't like hey, anything. But the one thing I can definitely say was I was really impressed on how Sheamus really did bring the pain. The fact that he literally did pick up Alberto Del Rio by his neck and when he was like in that hole, picked him up and just slammed him down. I was really impressed on how the match ended. I really, really was. That was a good match, but we all know that Alberto Del Rio and Sheamus put on good matches, so that's a given. Now moving on to the main event of the night, the WWE Championship with John Cena versus CM Punk. I have to say, seeing Paul Heyman out there, Paul Heyman is great on the mic. He's definitely a great representative for any wrestler that he's actually involved with. He's a great representative. But honestly, good grief. I'm going to be real. I fell asleep for half the match because it just took far too long to start. I mean, I'm sorry. With CM Punk out there holding up the thing, best in the world, for him wearing that really sweaty sweat jacket for some reason with no shirt on, I don't know. It just took far too long to start. But when I actually did open my eyes and watch, it was a good match. It really, really was. And when John Cena won, I was like, well, I mean, that would make sense. He's supposed to be a hometown hero, and I thought it was gonna end, and he was gonna leave the champion, but then they made it a draw. What? What? You couldn't even give that to him and then start a controversy later? That's what I thought they were going to do. I honestly thought that they were going to actually have John Cena win the belt, leave the champion, and then go back saying, "This is a controversy. Both shoulders were on the mat. I want my rematch." It would have made sense for that to happen instead of ending on a draw. I don't know. I mean, that's not really the way that I would call it, but that was just, I don't think that was a great way to end it. But all in all, for my overall opinion for this pay-per-view, I have to say the pay-per-view was good. The matches were really done very well. Even the Divas match, I have to say that it was a good match between her and Eve because they've wrestled before and they kind of have the same strengths a little bit. But all in all the matches were really impressive except for the IC Championship match because it was completely out of sync. Some of the reasons behind the backstage scenes didn't really make any sense either, especially the whole reinstatement of the bro kick, having Eve take over for Caitlyn, after she got ambushed, and oh gosh, Kane dumping a whole bunch of Gatorade on top of AJ as well as Daniel Bryan and the doctor, saying he's going to Disneyland. Now I know that, come on, we all know that every dude in the whole freaking planet is having a raging ring boner at this point, seeing AJ with her shirt soaking wet. So I'm not going to go into that. But for real, the fact that my monster is slowly becoming tamed is breaking my heart. Like, seriously, it's really breaking my heart right now. Because I like my monsters to be monsters, and they're really destroying Kane's reputation, and it's literally just, tear. But all in all, it was a very good pay-per-view. For those that really want to rent this thing, wait till it comes out on DVD. Seriously, don't buy it. Just wait until it comes out on DVD. You will enjoy it on DVD, but don't buy it. Like, seriously, it'll be a lot cheaper if you actually rent it on DVD. But anyway, this is Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. See you later.